welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports and another one in a series of recovery rides with Rev. I wish to introduce you to the concept of no rides. Now I know grammatically it's incorrect, but no ride stands for no stops for no reason. And these are rides I've been doing for a long time, but let me describe it to you in the simplest of terms. No stops for no reason, except traffic controls. So there are no stops for refueling. There are no stops for water. There are no stops for nature breaks. There are no stops for regrouping. There are no stops for photos. There are just no stops. If you are on one of these rides with me, the concept of pelaton rules applies. In other words, if you need to take a nature break, then you either go ahead of the peloton or behind the peloton, do your business, and either catch or reintegrate into the peloton, but no one stops for you. These are supposed to be hard rides. So, excuse me, there's lifeguard. You might be underfueled, underhydrated. These are supposed to be difficult. These are supposed to be mentally challenging. They're supposed to be physically challenging. The whole point is through adversity, we get stronger. I've been doing these probably for 20 years. And from time to time, when I post on Instagram or somewhere, there's always someone who comments on there, these rides are dangerous. No one should do these rides. You, as someone who is such a influential cyclist in the cycling world, should not be promoting these rides. So, might as well get the disclaimer out. Do not do these rides unless you have practiced them at the shortest distances possible and then continue to go from there, or just don't do them at all. Okay, I am not responsible for your welfare. I'm not responsible for your training. You're not being coached by me, but I thought it would make an interesting video, so that's why we're talking about it. Yesterday I did a 7.5 hour ride. It was 100 miles, 9,700 feet of climbing, basically zone 2, zone 3 ride. One of the characteristics of a no ride is it must be at least 6 hours. I don't talk about no rides when I do a 4-hour no ride, because pretty much everyone should be able to do 3-4 hours without having to stop for anything. Fueling, potty breaks, anything. So I only really talk about them when they're over 6 hours. Yesterday was 7.5 hours. Because I think anyone can pretty much fake a 2-3 hour ride. You have breakfast in the morning, you have lunch or dinner when you get home, and you're fine. So 6+ hours is where things really start, it starts to become a challenge. Today's January the 5th, and it's probably 60, mid 60s, and just a beautiful sunny day. Okay, so here comes the paramedics. Well, I hope that person's okay. These are challenging in the sense that I am thirsty. Meter out slowly your hydration. 2 bottles on the bike, the 26-ounce bottles, so I don't know, I think that's 750 mil. I had 600 calories in each bottle of Rev Energy, and then the rest was bars.
Lesson number 2, don't get high on your own supply.
That's right.
I had a triathlete show up once to one of these rides, and he had a hydration pack and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, the whole point is you're not supposed to have enough of the stuff you need so that you suffer through the 6+ hours of this ride. And that's how mentally you get stronger, physically you start to ignore some of the things that, because the question will arise from folks, what's the point of these? Why do you do these in the first place? Well, here's the thing. I'm not a very fast cyclist. I'm not. I'm mediocre at best. But what I am is very efficient on the bike. So I do everything with wheels rolling, whether that be taking arm warmers, arm cooler, knee warmers, knee coolers, shoe covers. I've got a base layer and I've overheated. I take off my helmet, I take off my jersey, I take off my base layer, put my jersey back on, put my helmet back on, all while I'm rolling. Because I'm not a very strong or fast cyclist, so I need to keep the wheels rolling to even remain competitive. So when it comes to double centuries, long, uh, not so much on a 200K, because most people kind of, there isn't much of a difference between the top 10 riders. But once you get into those longer distances, people pull over more. They do stop for services. They stop for other things. They stop to strip down and get dressed again and all that stuff. So time off the bike is time you never get back. You just never get it back, no matter how fast you ride. And by the way, the longer that event gets, the slower you're going to get anyway. So you just can't make up that time. So what I do is try to stay on the bike as much as possible. And the way to do that is practice what you're going to do in your events. And that means that if I practice doing no rides, then that means, I could do 100 miles of a 200 miler or a 300K, 187 miles, whatever. I can do 100 of those miles without stopping. The first time I stopped was at mile 106. 106 into the ride. First stop of the day. So 6 hours, 8 minutes, first stop of the day. And 6:24 total time, and that's all just traffic lights. I haven't stopped all day. And that's all I've had to drink all day. And the good news is now, these days, they allow what's called electronic proof of passage, EPP, which is you just submit your Strava file and it shows that you've gone through each one of the controls. If you want to have a backup, then take a photo, but I'm going to be rolling if I take that photo. To make sure I get that control, I'll take just a video and then I'll take a screenshot of my video. I'm used to doing these. As a matter of fact, years ago I used to call them depletion rides. I didn't call them no rides. I used to call them depletion rides. I was literally going out, depleting myself, and then coming home. And there's a concept called super compensation. So you go out, do a hard ride, your body super compensates for that stress that you put it through, whether it be by hydration or fueling or muscle rebuilding, right? So it just says, oh, you did that to me, let me recover from that so that the next time it's not so bad. 100 miles, 9,700 feet of climbing, zone 2, zone 3, no mountains, just lots of stuff that we have here, which is 1, 2, 3 mile climbs, some a little longer, some a little shorter, nothing really significant. And then the other thing about a no ride is minimal stop time. So I don't know what my final numbers were, but I mean, yeah, depends where you live in the country, in the world. The point is you have to choose a route that has minimal stoppages, forced upon you. So traffic signals and things like that. I left San Marcos and went towards Temecula, but there's a few highways you have to cross, and there's just long lights just sitting there. So I think my stop time was probably no more than maybe 9 minutes for the entire day. I had 7 minutes of stop time getting here, and I'm only an hour and 23 minutes into my ride. So for the entire day, the 7.5 hours, I think I had maybe 9 minutes. I don't know. But that is the no ride. If you want to take up the challenge, that's entirely up to you. Please do not say, "Oh, George said I have to do this," and then you go out there and you do your belly up or doing the funky chicken out on the side of the road. That's going to be on you, not me. But these are challenging rides. They challenge you mentally, they challenge you physically, and the whole point of them is to show you that you can do a lot more than you think. For example, I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, I could never do that. I drink a bottle an hour. I do this, I do that." I'm like, well, then don't try it. But if you want to try it under supervision, adult supervision, not really an adult, then come ride with me and I'll get you through it. I'll get you through it. And that's what's happened. These folks have come out and they're like, "I never thought I could do it." And they'll do a 6-7 hour ride with just 2 bottles, and that's it. And it's a sense of accomplishment, and it's a challenge, but that's the whole point, because through those challenges is how we grow. That's how we have a breakthrough in our training or something to that effect. Lastly, I want to talk about 2 emails that I got this morning. One was from a gentleman in Miami. He's looking for a Ritchie Road Logic rim brake. The other was from a gentleman, I believe he's in San Diego, because I could see the Coronado Bridge. It's a famous landmark here in the background. He has a Road Logic and a Swiss Cross. And both of those bikes, I swear they could be mine, because the build is almost exactly the same, right? The head Ardennes wheels, the rim brake, it just, same color as mine. So there's that. Okay, all for now.